online, and so on. Now, technology in this part is not an add-on, but it's actually a part of the lesson or the unit. So if technology is not an add-on, the question I faced was, where does it live at in the classroom? How do I actually incorporate this in my classroom? And the answer was I have to create a place for it in my classroom. And the answer was learning platform. So I have my physical class, and I actually have my online classes. So this brings us to the topic of setting up that meeting place for online students. I'm sorry, for students online. This is a list of learning or platforms that I came up with. For me, this is my top rated list. I had asked myself several questions before I decided on a learning platform that worked best for me. What was the purpose of this meeting place? What were the goals? What types of media or information did I need to, or did I want to communicate? Do I want my students to post on this site or just read what I'm posting? And that was something I had to kind of let go because I like that control over my classroom. And I had to let those students in. So that was kind of a battle for me. And the next battle was, do I want this to be an academic only space or allow outside discussions? And immediately when that topic came up, several of my colleagues were, no, it's only academic space. But then in our learning platform we created, a lot of our students were sharing codes to get their friends on, and they were having a lot of outside discussions. So it became more of an outside discussion area. And then they would talk about things that were in their everyday life. And then the content was then weaved into their everyday life as through those discussions. So it was something really amazing that happened. Did my school provide a platform that served my purpose? Did I want to give tests or quizzes from this online place? How do I expect my students to access this online platform? A lot of my students do not have tablets. They don't have internet at home. Are they going to walk to the local library? And how much can I spend on this site? Time and money. Because as educators, we all know, sometimes time is worth more than money, right? Okay, I decided, in what I do every year, I primarily go with Edmodo. Edmodo is a great site. I use it, like I said, every year. My favorite thing about this site is the group discussions. Once I started setting up groups, I just prefer that because, first of all, it's ease of use and group discussions. It's kind of like has a Facebook feel interface, and at the same time I get the benefits like what I would see like a Blackboard site, like course sites developed by Blackboard. I get that feel with discussions with Edmodo. And it's just my top pick. The students love it. They've also got apps that, like little games and apps you can play. Some are free, some are purchased for your classes. I'm going to show this short video on Edmodo. I have some more listed below here, but this is my top pick. Go through and it's going to show you some of the different features that Edmodo has, and I know there's a lot of other great things that I want to get to. I use Edmodo as a learning platform. That's just where my students happen to meet at, where we can discuss things that happen in class, where they can share homework, collaborate. If you're looking for something new, Edmodo's been around for kind of a while. I like stability and consistency. But there are a few things that I've kind of went out and ventured out to try. This summer, while teaching summer school, I heard about course sites, which has again been out for a while. I was a little nervous about trying it. It has very much so a Blackboard feel. I like this because of that. So I have a lot of students that when I log them onto course sites, I say, you know what, if you're planning to go to college, you're going to interact with a learning platform very similar to this. And I had a lot of success with course sites. There's also Schoology. A lot of my colleagues use that. They really like Schoology and Moodle. And for the purpose of time, like I said, this is all linked on that presentation, and I'll go ahead and I will move forward because I want to talk with you guys about these tools for actually flipping your classroom. So after you have your online learning platform set up, then you can start to engage in these different digital tools. And that could either be the teacher-led using those digital tools or the students using those digital tools. And your meeting place or your platform is just like a sharing place. This is where we're going to come together and we're either going to have class discussions or we're going to share this mesh up of media. The purpose of this point in blended learning is if you are interested in video recording your material and actually either flipping your classroom. I don't like using the term flipped because flipping is technically when the students are learning that material at home, usually from video, and then you go back in the class and you have discussions about it. A lot of my students do not watch the videos at home, so I don't like calling it flipped. And then they end up coming back to the classroom to me, and I hear a lot of excuses. I didn't have internet and so forth. So that's why I like blended better. I will still video record my lessons. It's an option for my students to have at home. At the same time, I can group my students, and the ones who did not get to take advantage of that, I may have a group where they can go back and watch those videos. So this is for the flipped video and what I use. I started out flipping a few years back, and I would actually explain everything and show me apps. And I would record like 5-minute summaries of how the lessons that were taught in language arts. I would just do a quick summary or overview, and the next day the student would come in, or whenever they would come in from their absence, and I would set them down and they would plug in their earphones and they would watch the summary and do whatever activity or that was associated with that. So it began just to kind of catch students up so they don't get far behind. And then I started playing around with Camtasia, iMovie, and Snap.
Were you able to?
I'm glad you said that. I have communication guides that I give to my students, and I'm going to turn this. If you want this is free on my wiki link. Do's and don'ts. Someone shared this with me. I'm sharing it with you all. Do's and don'ts.